Hello, and welcome to the Killer Cuties podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Cassidy, and I've seen almost every horror movie out there.
And I'm Katy, and I've seen almost none of them.
So join us each week as I attempt to make a horror fan out of Katie.
As a warning, we will be discussing spoilers and some uncomfortable topics that may be in the plots, so feel free to check out the film on doesthedogdie.com first to check for any triggers before listening.
Today, we're going to be talking about the 2023 box office hit, M3GAN. Let's get spooky.
Okay, I will kick us off with a summary. So, after a car accident kills her parents, a young girl named Katy is sent to live with her Aunt Gemma, who is a toy designer. After realizing that she's not cut out to be a parent, Gemma finally connects with Katy over one of her old creations, a human sized robot named Bruce. Katy adores Bruce, so Gemma revives a newer failed creation, an android named M3GAN, in an attempt to impress both her boss David as well as Katy. Katy and M3GAN are paired, and David is immediately sold on M3GAN's potential for success. As time goes on, Katy begins to form a really unhealthy attachment to M3GAN, and M3GAN begins acting progressively more independently, ultimately killing the neighbor's dog after it attacks them, and then a boy named Brandon after he bullies Katy. The owner of the dog threatens Gemma in front of M3GAN, so she gets the axe as well. At this point, Gemma starts to put two and two together and brings M3GAN to her lab for testing, which leads to Katy slapping Gemma for separating them. Despite this and some really obvious bugs in M3GAN's database, Gemma, M3GAN, and Katy perform a demo for some executives to great success. Gemma realizes the risk of this and attempts to terminate M3GAN, which leads to another killing spree and an explosion caused by M3GAN at the lab. After this, M3GAN returns to Gemma and Katy's home and attacks Gemma because M3GAN believes that she herself should be Katy's sole parental guardian. After a long fight, Katy steps in to save the day using Bruce to tear M3GAN apart, but just as we believe that M3GAN has been destroyed, Gemma's AI home device turns on by itself and the movie ends.
Dun dun dun.
Yes. Honestly, the most perfect setup for a sequel ever.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta love it when they set it up for a sequel. And I think that this movie kind of did it in two ways. Because, so they do it with the AI at the end. We're supposed to kind of assume that, like, M3GAN somehow uploaded her data into that, so she's living on.
Yep.
But they also kind of did it with Kurt's character, who is Gemma's boss's assistant, because they show him like stealing files. So like they're throughout the movie, you know that there's like this rival company that keeps just stealing their ideas and making them cheaper.
Yeah.
And so you find out that Kurt's the one who's downloading the files and stealing them and presumably selling them to other companies. So he already took M3GAN's data. There's a very good chance that he already sold it, and there are already other toy companies who are working on cheaper, probably more dangerous models of M3GAN.
That's true. And they kill Kurt off, so people probably aren't thinking about that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that they kind of left it open for like two different ways for it to go. And there is already a sequel. It's already been announced.
Yep. Yeah, it comes out in 2024, I believe.
2025, I think. I think it got pushed to January of 2025. But still,
ways away.
Less than 2 years, you know?
Yeah. Knocking him out. I was actually really excited to talk about this one for a couple of reasons. One, I'm a big fan of the Uncanny Valley hypothesis. Have you heard of Uncanny Valley?
Like, I've heard it, but but you can explain it to me.
Yes. Okay. But I'll still.
Yeah.
For our audience.
No. Yeah. For everybody out there who doesn't know, because obviously, I know.
Of course, you know. So my obsession with this actually started with. Have you ever seen the movie Polar Express?
Yes.
Yeah. Love that movie. I saw that in theaters with my grandpa, and he almost had to walk out of that movie. Because it made him really uncomfortable to see these animations on the screen that were so lifelike. And turns out like that's a thing called Uncanny Valley hypothesis. It was developed in the 70s in Japan. There's like a fine line between it's a bell curve actually. So the more things look human, people get more and more, attached to them and can like sympathize and empathize with them to a point. And there's a point where people are incredibly uncomfortable with how human something that's not human. So that's where my grandpa was with the movie Polar Express. And that's where they try to put you in this movie. M3GAN is right at the uncanny valley where that looks too much like a human and it's making me uncomfortable. But then it'll look so like a human, people are comfortable with it again. So that's where the name Valley, because in that valley, people are really uncomfortable. And then after the fact, the end of the valley,
To be
you begin to get
clear,
comfortable again.
this is your grandfather?
Yes.
He thought that Polar Express was too human.
Well, have you seen it?
Yeah, I thought it was very clearly animation.
Yes. It is very clearly animation. And
Okay.
I knew that it was very clearly animation. And that's what made me be like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, he just felt this is. You know what? That's
Yes.
fair. He was raised in a different time than we were, so.
Exactly. And that movie was like the first, at least that I can remember, where it was actual actors but doing CGI. Like that's Tom Hanks on the screen,
Right.
but it's a CGI of Tom Hanks.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how I got into this whole Uncanny Valley thing. And immediately when I saw M3GAN, like back when they were doing trailers and stuff for this movie, I was like, oh my God, it's an experiment in Uncanny Valley.
I like that. All right.
Yeah. But you knew what I was talking about.
Oh, yeah, I mean, obviously. I know all about the valley. No, but this M3GAN was originally rated R. They eventually toned it down to fit a PG-13 rating. And
Did they really?
yes.
Oh,
I
thought it was
think
rated R.
I think no, so the theatrical release was PG-13. And I want to say that like it was because it went viral on TikTok. So they were like, "Oh, it's close to a PG-13, so we might as well just lower it. That way like all the TikTok teens can go watch it."
True.
But okay, so Katie and I watched this movie together and we were both
okay.
Yeah.
When you said Katy, I was like,
You,
movie
not
Katy. You're talking about me.
I did not watch this with the character Katie in
Got
the
it.
movie.
Sorry.
I'm talking
Okay,
about
continue.
you.
Okay.
We watched it together and we were both like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do an episode on this. Let's both watch the unrated version before we record the episode. And then Katie messages me and says, "Oh, the version we watched was the unrated version."
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was shook. I could not wrap my head around that at all. I was so convinced that we had seen the PG-13 theatrical release.
See, I thought that what we saw was the R-rated version, and then there was just a worse version. Like, that's what I was thinking. That's funny that you thought that was
No.
PG-13 because it was certainly not.
What? No. Okay, so I went through. Okay, so I rewatched the movie and I did rewatch the
Yeah.
unrated version
Same.
because I'm not going to go through that weak ass bullshit. But however, I did watch the theatrical release, but the scenes that were reportedly like changed, they were not that different.
Really?
No. So there's like two scenes that they like toned down a lot. They toned down some of the swearing, but I don't even remember him saying like the fuck word that much. So whatever.
Mm-mm.
But anyways, so there's the scene where there's the like bully sociopath little kid who's like
Yeah.
going after Katie, and then M3GAN rips his ear off, right?
Yeah.
Almost all of it is in there except the part where it actually rips off. It shows it like stretching and then it shows it bloody after.
Oh.
It's just literally the like 0.2 seconds where it rips. That's the only part that they cut. And then
Wild.
yeah, and then when the second scene was supposedly when she kills the neighbor, like the dog owner.
Is it the face?
Yes, that's again the only part they cut. So it shows her
Wait.
blasting her with acid. It shows her with the nail gun. I don't think it shows the nails entering, but it does show them after.
In her hand.
Yes, it shows them in her hand, and then it, like, shows her getting sprayed in the face with acid, but, like, right before her cheek kind of falls off, it just, like, cuts to blood on the floor. That's it.
Okay, because I don't remember her face peeling off like that, but I swear I remember the ear coming off.
See, that's why I'm, like, almost, like see, I feel like I do remember her cheek coming off in the
Okay.
but maybe I don't know. That's the point I'm trying to make, though, is that, like, they were so similar
So similar, yeah.
that you could almost make the connections of what was happening anyway. I get, like, there are, like, you have to follow, like, the MPAA, so they're gonna mark things as R versus PG-13 anyway.
Yeah.
But I just felt like all the articles were like, "Oh, you have to watch the unrated version, it's so much more of, like, a gore blood fest." No,
Yeah.
wrong. It was not. It was still very mild
Yeah.
compared to other
Even I thought it was mild, not let alone compared to other horror. I thought it was a mild movie.
Yeah.
I don't think there was not a single time I had to turn the volume down. I think the only time I looked away was when the ear was stretching because that was a little uncomfortable. But like so easy to watch.
Yeah. Which, honestly, I think I liked this movie. I think I would have loved it if they had ramped up the, like, violence and the gore a little bit. Because I
Yeah.
think, like, the movie was already so over the top and funny and ridiculous that, like, if they'd added that in, I think it would have almost been perfect. Just over the top with everything. Go fucking balls to the wall. I would have loved to see
Yeah.
that version of this movie.
Yeah. Honestly, I agree. Campy, as it were. Um so the other thing about this movie that like really got me was we talked a few episodes ago on the menu about how we should talk beforehand about what genre the movie is so that I know. This movie, I did not know it was going to be funny. I did think it was funny.
Did you watch any TikTok of it at all?
No. No. I
Okay.
knew about the dance scene.
I feel like once you see
So,
that dance scene, like, you have to know that it's not taking itself too seriously.
well, okay, so maybe. But I went into this movie without like knowing for sure, you know, this is supposed to be funny, I don't know. I just felt like it really spoke for itself and I didn't need to know the genre ahead of time.
Yeah,
Which I liked. Whereas the menu, I was fucking confused because I didn't know I was supposed to be laughing.
that's fair. I think it also helped, though, that you watched M3GAN with a group of us where we were all, like, chatting throughout, whereas
That's
you
true.
watched the menu alone, and I watched the menu with the same group of people that we watched M3GAN with, and
That's true.
I think being with other people kind of helps because, like,
Yeah.
they're laughing, and then it's kinda like, "Oh, okay, you get the vibe more a little bit?"
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I just watched the menu with my husband and he doesn't know shit about fuck with horror movies.
Wait, he actually watched it?
The menu? Yeah.
Did he
We
like
talked
it?
about this.
No.
No. Yeah, we did.
Did he like
No.
it? No.
No, of course not.
Oh, that's so sad although, honestly, big
He's
fan
not a
of your
horror movie guy.
husband, but I do not care for his opinions on movies one bit.
Yeah, yeah, we know. My husband doesn't like the movie. We've talked about this too, and I called it Shark Tank. Shark Tale.
Yes,
That's
it's
his
Shark
only red
Tale.
flag.
I think he had another one, but it might have been like a TV show or something that he didn't like. I know there was another one that you told me that I was like, strike two.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Me neither. Clearly, it wasn't
Either way,
that detrimental if I
yeah,
don't remember.
yeah. It wasn't as huge as Shark Tale.
No, I mean, come on. It was classic.
Fucking masterpiece. Anyway, yeah, no. I was super stoked to talk about this movie for those two reasons.
Yeah. I had a blast watching this. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Same.
What I did hate though, okay, so like I didn't hate this, but like one of the things that M3GAN is supposed to help out with the kids is like reminding them to do things. And Katie had to be consistently reminded to flush the toilet. Why was
Yeah.
that such an issue for this kid to remember?
She's 9 years old.
9 years old. Like, I don't have kids, so I don't really. I'll be the first to admit I do not know markers. Like, I'll look at a 5-year-old and be like, should it be talking? I'm not sure. So, like, I don't know. But it feels like she was old enough to know that you need to flush the toilet after you use it.
Yes. My 3-year-old knows and does flush the toilet.
Okay. So, times that by 3, the kid's having
Yeah.
issues.
Yeah. You've lived 3 times as long as my kid and you don't flush the toilet?
Yeah. I know that everybody learns things at different paces, but that feels like an issue to me.
Yes. Yes. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like they really had to emphasize that though at the beginning of the movie that she was helping with these like small little tasks reminding Katie to do because towards the end Meg didn't care about those things anymore. She didn't care about, reminding Katie to put her drink on a coaster or anything like that. She was, more concerned about protect Katie at all costs. So I get where they came from by including that in the storyline, but they could have picked literally anything except flushing a toilet, like
Yeah. I feel like they're
locking a door behind her, or, like closing a window. I don't know.
right. Or like putting her dishes in the sink or something like that. That's like,
Yeah,
yeah, kids don't do that. Not the flushing the toilet thing was. I don't know why it like. I was about to like step up and be like, Katie, let's get this shit together. Literally, like.
I guess
But
it's kind of funny, added to the comedy of it.
yeah, and I'm sure that's the point was to be like,
Yeah.
LOL, turds. But I like that you mentioned that though, because Gemma kind of like recalibrates Megan's primary objective at one point. And
Yep.
which I think is funny because there's so many red flags that everyone just kind of ignores. Like
Yep.
Gemma literally teaches Megan to not make a big deal out of death. Do we not see how that might go wrong? And then she
Yeah.
tells her protect Katie physically and mentally at all costs. Come on. We need to connect some dots here. Like
Yes. Yeah. And her team is like, we did everything we could to make sure that she wouldn't hurt anybody. Meanwhile, Gemma's like, here are all the ways you can hurt someone. And here's
yes.
why you should do it.
Also, like she didn't even have time to put in like parental controls on the thing. I don't think that they really went through all the ways to like death proof this AI.
No. Yeah, certainly not.
It also like why on earth would you make a prototype AI's primary user a child?
Right?
That's so dumb. I don't even like I get that it needs to be paired with her in order to like connect and like learn, but why would you not have that connection be with the secondary user and then have the primary user have the majority of the control because that was just like asking for trouble, especially if you're going to commercialize this for other people to use. Like what if that
Yep.
Brandon kid had gotten a hold of one of those?
Can you imagine?
That kid I mean, I don't know. I'm team Megan. I think he kind of
Yeah, he sucked.
deserved to go.
I'm team the car that hit him. Yeah, he sucked.
There weren't a lot of likable characters in this.
Yeah. Well, I liked the 2 people on her team, on Gemma's team.
Yeah, I think like Gemma's 2 assistants were probably the most likable.
Yeah.
But overall, the kid was annoying. I didn't particularly like Gemma.
She was okay.
The boss
She was
sucked.
just doing her best. Oh yeah, the boss sucked.
Yeah, but I think like I'm sure Gemma's a fine person, but a lot of mistakes made with this AI. I feel like she was smarter than that. Second of all, I think it was very clear that parenthood was not for her.
Right.
And I think maybe the best thing you can do in that case is admit it, especially when there were
Yeah.
other willing caregivers.
You're not wrong.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
um, Apparently, in the original script, Lydia, the therapist, she was supposed to die.
I could see that.
Yeah, but then when they toned it down to PG-13, they cut her death scene. But like they just never mention her again. And I'm assuming if she's alive, there's no way in hell that she is recommending that Katie stay with Gemma after all of that shit just happened.
Very true. Yeah. That's kind of to your point. I don't see a way forward with Katie and Gemma's story when the plans for M3GAN or like the AI or the code or whatever were leaked to another company. I feel like they would almost have to like have a standalone story with a new kid or a new team, whatever, unless they focused more on the fact that she took over the AI in the house.
Yeah, I think they kind of left it open to go either way. I could see Gemma being a part of it regardless, because if she did hear of another company producing the toy, I think that she would try to stop it. So I could
True.
see her getting involved in some aspect, no matter what. But and I want to say Allison Williams, that's the actress, has already been confirmed for it, but I might be
Okay.
lying on that. Yeah, so Allison Williams is already showing in the cast for the sequel.
Okay. Well,
So yeah, I think it makes sense, but yeah, I think I don't know. I don't see how they could continue it. I don't see a world in which that therapist lived and Katie stays with Gemma.
right? Yeah, maybe they just don't talk about her ever again.
Maybe. Also, okay, so M3GAN, the toy in the movie, she was set to cost $10,000. Like that's what the company was going to sell her for.
Yep.
I looked it up. The average cost per child that parents spend on toys in the US is around $366 per year. That's like 27 years of toys saved up to buy. Like how many families would actually purchase it? I mean, I'm sure like a lot of like rich people would buy it.
Yeah, we've got like Klarna and Affirm nowadays.
True. But I guess the point wasn't really that like she was supposed to be an accessible toy.
Yeah, no.
Also, what do you do with it once your kid grows up? Just like wipe it, sell it to someone else?
Oh, yeah, probably. That's what I would do.
I guess. I feel like
Oh,
that would
my
take a
kids.
lot to wipe.
True.
What's the data storage on that thing?
Honestly, probably not very secure at the very least. Like, if to say the very least, it's not very secure if it can delete its own data.
That's true. That was another fatal flaw in the design.
Yeah.
Why would you create something that can delete its own data?
Yeah.
But you know what? No kid who grew up with this toy would be normal. Like they'd be a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't
Also,
help that with the, what Lydia was talking about, the attachment theory, that didn't help in this case, for sure.
no.
Hopefully not every kid would have that, but
Yeah, I think pairing it with a child who has just lost her parents, not the best idea.
Gemma's the real villain of this movie.
That's what I'm saying. Team M3GAN.
Seriously.
They modeled M3GAN's voice in part after another AI from the video game Portal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. They didn't even put like a portal Easter egg or anything in the movie.
No.
Sad. Sad.
Was there anything that you didn't like about the movie?
Um, I mean, now that we're talking about it, we are poking a lot of plot holes, and that's not always fun when you like a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
I think there's yeah, there's some level of disbelief that you kind of have to suspend when you watch certain movies because it's like
Yeah,
maybe just don't think about it too much otherwise you're not going to like it as much.
that's true. That's true. Um, I won't. I won't overthink it then. But yeah, no, I don't like that there's so many plot holes. Other than that, like I really, really enjoyed it. I was having a goofy, silly time watching it.
I was too. I'm actually surprised because I said something I didn't like and I thought that you were going to say it.
What?
The singing.
Oh, I forgot about the singing. And I literally just watched it like an hour ago.
It was so
Um,
unnecessary.
yeah, yeah. Like that one Sia song.
All
Like
of
that's
it.
not a lullaby, right? Isn't that a Sia song? Bulletproof.
Nope. LaRue.
Oh yeah, you're right. Whoops.
um,
Um,
yeah, I'm not sure why they felt the need for Megan to like continually break out into song. It was kind of
the dance.
uncomfortable. The dance I kind of thought was funny.
Yeah.
The singing, if
So
she
was
had
the
done it,
singing.
if she had done the singing like once, I would have been like fine. But it was like
Okay.
3 or 4 times that she just breaks out into song, and I was like,
Yeah.
we're
I
pushing it now.
I think the reason I gave it a pass was because I thought it was funny
Mhm.
and it's a child's toy. Like you would expect it to sing almost.
That's
You
fair.
know?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I guess it didn't bother me the second time I watched it. The first time I watched it, I was like triggered. we kept using that expression like, "Oh my god. The singing's going to trigger Katy."
You were not having it at all.
I was not having it. But no,
Every
it didn't bother me the
time.
second time.
Every time you'd just be in the comment, "Is this a fucking musical?"
What is this, Mary Poppins? Yeah, no. Didn't bother me the second time. It's funny.
There you go. I feel like it bothered me more the second time I watched it than the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
What else did you not like? Anything?
I think again, just like how toned down it was. It was
Yeah.
fine. Like, I think that you can have a good PG-13 horror movie. Like, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I've seen good PG-13 horror movies. And this was. Like, I'm not at all saying that it wasn't good. Um, it sucks when you're like, it could have been better. Like, it could have been
Yeah.
great. And at least for me, again, it's my opinion, but it just sucks when something's like so close and then it just falls short, you know?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
part didn't bother me. Um, I don't think I'll ever ask for more gore in a movie. Um, it didn't have you're right though, it did not have excessive gore, that's for sure.
Mm-mm.
It could have had a lot more and I still would have been fine with it. But I liked it the way it was.
Honestly, not even like gore, just like blood. Just like a little bit bloodier, you know? A few more kills.
Isn't that what gore is?
I don't know. I
Blood
guess
and
when I
guts?
think of gore, I think of more like insides, which I get that blood
Okay.
is, but I think like blood splatter and stuff like that, like I wouldn't consider that gore.
Oh, okay.
But that could just be me.
That's just you.
Okay.
um, yeah, I think blood is definitely considered gore.
I think it is in like certain contexts. But like if I'm watching a movie and someone just like hits them with a knife and you just see a splatter of blood, I'm not going to be like, "Oh, that movie was gory." You know what I mean?
Well, Yeah, no, the movie wasn't gory, but that scene had gore.
Wait, which one?
The hypothetical scene you just described.
Okay.
No?
I
Let's look
wouldn't
up the
say that.
definition of gore.
I think it's like intense violence, which I wouldn't consider like blood splattering being intense
Literally,
violence.
literally, the word gore means blood that has been shed, especially as a result of violence.
I guess, but like if all I'm seeing is like blood splatters, I'm not going to consider that a gory movie.
Well,
If I'm seeing someone
Oxford
like
Dictionary.
again, this is just me, okay? This is just me.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it shows blood in Psycho. I don't think Psycho's a gory movie.
Well, it doesn't have okay. I think you're right. I think that there can be gore in a movie that's not gory.
Well, okay.
Like this movie was pretty low, Megan, we're
Yeah.
talking about, in case anyone forgot, because we're on a tangent again. Um, is like pretty low on the gory scale. It has gore,
See,
but it's pretty
okay.
low on the gory scale.
I would consider like I think this is where like my mind separates the two, right? The
Okay.
neighbor's death scene, I would consider slightly gory. You see the inside of her cheek when it's falling off, like that's a whole thing. When she stabs David in the back, I don't consider that gore.
That's exactly backwards.
What?
The blood splatter of David being stabbed in the back is the textbook definition of gore.
Not
That
to
scene
me.
is what's gore.
So
To
you don't
me,
consider seeing someone's face fall off gory?
no, I think that's gory also. But
You just said I
that's
had
not
it backwards.
well, okay, but that's not the textbook definition of gore.
But
Gore is
that's not what
literally
I'm
blood.
saying. I'm not saying the textbook. I'm saying my definition of gore.
Okay, got it.
That's what
Got
I'm
it.
saying.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. Well, literally the synonyms for the word gore, bloodshed,
Yeah.
blood,
I'm
but
not
also
saying
slaughter,
all blood.
carnage,
Yeah.
butchery.
Like I think of gore, I think like intense like
Okay.
violence. I
So,
don't think of like
okay.
just like a slice.
That's the distinguishing factor is you're immune to horror.
Yeah.
So your definition is a little bit more more than everybody else's.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. But that doesn't mean it's not gore. It's just not your gore, I suppose.
Yeah.
But we've established that you are on another level, so
Seen a lot of shit.
exactly. Comparatively, yeah, comparatively.
Yeah.
That. Um yeah, no. Anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I would not have minded if it was more gory. It would have
Same.
still been just as good to me.
Agreed. Well, I think it would have been better if they had gone balls to the wall, but so how scary did you think it was?
I didn't. 1 out of 5. Not scary at all. There
Agreed.
weren't any there's no jumpies. There's no well, I guess the dog at the beginning of the movie was a jumpy, but honestly, yeah. You gave it a 1 also?
I did give it a 1. I didn't find it scary at all. I think like the comedic elements and like the concept overall is kind of a little like silly, so it didn't scare me. And plus I think it was kind of formulaic in terms of who died. Like it was very
Yes.
obvious to me who would be killed and who would live. So there
Yes.
wasn't a lot of tension about whether or not like Gemma and Katy would survive. I knew they would. You
Right.
know, they didn't really push the envelope there.
Right. It's funny that you say that because I forgot to mention in the things that I didn't like, the whole movie was very predictable.
Yeah.
Not just who was gonna die, but who was gonna live, what was gonna happen. Like, the first thing that pops into my head is, like, she lost an arrow. Oh, well, the dog probably has the arrow, and she's gonna get bit, and then Megan's gonna have to kill the dog. Like, just everything was guessable.
Yeah.
But, I mean, honestly, it worked.
Yeah, I and I've said this in previous episodes. I don't think I have to necessarily be surprised by things that happen in a movie. I don't think it's the worst thing ever to know where a movie's going, especially if where it's going is satisfying. So,
Yeah,
uh, yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily like hate that in it, but it makes it less scary when you know exactly like who's gonna die and when and how and well, I guess not how, but that'd be pretty
yeah,
wild if I knew how, but
yeah, yeah. You knew she was gonna spray poison in someone's face until they died?
I mean, that one was kind of guessable.
Kind of.
They talked about the poison a lot.
A lot. Yeah. The poison.
The
Who's those?
poison! Get it off my lawn!
Oh my god. But no, that was something that I just like casually didn't like love.
Yeah.
And I think even in like the previous episodes that we've talked about this, I like disagreed with you very heavily that like I want to be surprised in a movie. But honestly, like this movie just proved me a liar because I was not surprised at all with anything that happened and I still loved it.
Yeah. Good. I like that though.
Yeah. Yeah. Learning a lot about myself with this movie. Uh, um what's next? How sexy was it?
1.
One. It was not sexy at all.
Not even a little bit. I
Nope.
thought about it for a while. Not one thing that I thought was sexy. It's mostly about kids. So,
Yeah.
or kid presenting AIs. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
really not no. Mm-mm.
No. The actress that played Gemma,
You big Allison Williams fan?
she's good looking. But honestly,
I can't.
still a one.
So like, it, her eyes kind of freak me out. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're very blue.
Not gonna hold you. You
I
almost said I'm not
said it.
gonna hold you.
I almost did. I caught myself. Anyways, but here's the thing. So I've seen her in 2 other things. I think only
What?
The Perfection and Get Out.
Are those both horror movies? Get Out
Yes,
is.
both are on our list. But what I like think of when I think about her, I think about Get Out. And yeah. I guess
Was
when
she good in it?
she did fantastic in it. Um
Okay.
but yeah, I think you'll know what I'm thinking about her once we watch that movie.
Okay.
And not her, but like character wise, It's just like
Got it.
yeah, she's scream queen in her way up. She's everything I've seen her in has been a horror movie, so
I mean, the directors of this movie will be directing the Dead by Daylight movie.
yeah. Bloomhouse and
We all know
Wong.
how yeah. We all know how they horror movie directors especially like to pull their characters between movies. I wonder if she'll get cast in that one.
Who's to
Be
say?
Meg. Right? I'm not wrong.
Sure, yeah, I don't know. Did you think it was how fucked up?
One.
What did you just say?
One.
Okay, you mumbled again.
Oh, sorry. Maybe 1.5. I don't like the idea of a paper cutter going through my chest, but honestly, my heart says 1.
I gave it a 1.
Yeah?
I said if we're going based on the theatrical release, 1.
Oh.
The unrated maybe a 1.5 because of the face peeling off and the ear rippage.
The ear.
But honestly, I'm basing it on the theatrical, and that gets a 1.
Yeah. And honestly, like even like those two things, compared to a bunch of other movies that we've seen,
Not
don't
bad.
bump it up half a
No, not really. Yeah.
I literally just think of Martyrs. Everything is a 1 compared to Martyrs.
It really kind of is, huh?
Yeah.
See, now
Honestly.
now you understand though. Now that you've seen like a higher caliber fucked up movie, you see how now like all those beginning movies that you were like, "Oh, it's a 3, it's a 4," and I was like, "1, 1." 1.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do a special episode every, like, 25 episodes or something, where we go back and re-rate the scariness and the fucked upness of all these movies, because I'll have a scale to compare them to.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll make,
Honestly,
like, an Instagram graphic or something.
I feel like my answers would probably change too.
You think?
I think as soon as I rate them, I forget what I rated them. And also,
Mm,
like, I'm not even rating them necessarily against each other sometimes. I'm, like, rating them in the moment of how I feel. Because sometimes I'll look back and be like,
yeah,
"Oh, I rated that movie, like, a 3 out of 5, and I rated this movie a 3 out of 5, but, like, this movie's clearly better, so why did I rate that one, like, the same as this?"
right. Yeah, we should do a live stream of us just, scale of 1 to 5, live plugging in all the movies.
I like that. I'd be down to do that.
Yeah,
Just like, "Here's what we've
exactly.
covered so far, and here's where we're ranking all of them."
Yeah, exactly. Yep. We can just update it every 10, 20 episodes. I don't know.
Yeah. I like that.
We'll do that.
Well, put it on the books.
Yep.
Alright.
Um, what does that leave overall?
Overall, how'd you feel?
I give it a 4.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it. I don't know that there was. I really enjoyed Alien too. Um, but I can't think of another movie that I liked as much.
Have you Yes. Okay, I was, like, trying to remember if you've given a 5 out of 5, but there were 2. But you did recant one of them after.
Wait,
You gave A Quiet Place a 5 out of 5. But
I
then
did.
when we watched A Train to Busan, you said that A Quiet Place tricked you into thinking it was a 5 out of 5, and A Train to Busan was actually a 5 out of 5.
Okay, you're right. Okay. I then this might be a 4.5 because it's real close to Train to Busan. What did I give Alien?
Okay.
4.5, I hope?
F
Or 4?
4 or 4.5?
Okay, either of those are right. My heart says yes to 4 or 4.5.
See, you're just like me, for real, like, you're already forgetting what you ranked things and wanting to change it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that's an accurate that would be an accurate representation of a 5 for Train to Busan, of 4.5 for Megan and Quiet Place, and a 4 for Alien.
Okay.
That's right.
Those are the top 4 for you so far, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Nothing.
What did you rate it?
Oh, Megan? I'm just, like,
Yes?
thinking about Scream, and I'm, like, mad at you, but it's fine.
Oh, I liked Scream. I did like Scream. I think that's a 4 also.
Perfect. Okay, now I'm fine.
Top 5, top 5.
Perfect.
Yeah. What did
Um,
you rate Megan?
I couldn't decide
Oh,
between a 3 and a 3.5.
yikes.
That's still good. I still really liked it. It's just I wanted it to be better. I think because, like, the hype around it was so big and, like, everybody was, like, obsessed with this movie. I wanted them to, like, really go crazy and let it rip. And I feel like it was like watching a movie that was holding back, and I didn't want that. I wanted it to just be all that it could be.
That's fair.
I'll give
Maybe
it a
they'll
three and
have
a
like
half.
a okay, good. Good. Maybe they'll have like a director's cut. I think
But if the unrated version was still that mild, I don't think that they filmed anything that crazy.
There's a couple death scenes missing, right?
Yeah. But I don't know if they ever even filmed it or not.
True.
You know what? M3GAN 2.0, the sequel. I'm hoping they just let it rip. Go
Yeah.
crazy. I want to see
Yeah.
that.
I think they would do themselves a disservice if they did,
Really?
because they had a much bigger audience by having a PG-13 movie with much less gore than you would think it would have. They had a much
But
larger audience.
I think because the audience was so big for this one, they don't really need to worry about that for the sequel. I think that people are
Yeah.
going to go see it no matter what the rating is. Y'all know those 13-year-olds are gonna be buying a ticket for Avengers 9 and sneaking into this one instead. Like,
9? Is that all they're on now?
I have no fucking
Uh,
clue.
no, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
But they've got their fan base. Feels like they're pretty dedicated.
yeah.
I think they'll see it no matter what. You're right. Um, well, cool. I liked it.
I did too. I don't want, like, anybody to think I didn't like it. I just
You liked it a 3.5. I liked it a 4.5.
yeah. Sorry.
It's not even in your top 5?
Of movies we've watched so far?
Yeah.
Um, no.
Sad.
No. I don't think so. Sorry.
That's okay. We're allowed to have different tastes.
Yeah. You didn't
Different definitions of
include
gore, apparently.
yeah.
I didn't include what?
You didn't include Barbarian or Ginger Snaps, which are both, like, very important to me as a person, so, those are
Ginger Snaps was very good. Barbarian less so, but I did like Barbarian also.
yeah. I loved Barbarian.
I think Scream and Ginger Snaps are pretty level for me.
Okay. I mean, I think I rated both of those a 5 out of 5, so I guess they're pretty level for me too.
Okay. Wow. Well,
You know what? We'll figure it all out when we live stream it about
yeah.
where the
Yeah.
movies fall for us.
Yeah. It's just telling us that we need to now.
Oh, clearly.
Yeah.
Do you think that you would survive M3GAN?
Oh, I always forget about this question.
Yeah, you do.
Um. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
Oh.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm a people pleaser. I really, really need people to like me. And I'm not going to go around stepping on people's toes and make M3GAN kill me.
I think you just described the character of Kurt, though, who dies.
No.
He was a
No,
people
no.
pleaser and an ass kisser.
I don't know that I'm an ass kisser.
Okay.
Am I?
I mean, are you? I don't
Do you have something to tell me? Do you have an opinion about this?
No, but I think if anybody in the movie was a people pleaser, it was Kurt.
No, I just mean I'm not going to be the neighbor that's a bitch. I'm not going to be, you know, a therapist. I'm not going to be a dog that, runs in other people's yards.
Okay.
So I think I'm safe.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I am kind of an ass kisser. At work, maybe. I don't know. Mm, you know what? There are worse things to be at work.
That's true.
What about you? Are you surviving?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
The people were so dumb in this. Like, they made so many stupid decisions and ignored every single red flag, and that
Hmm.
just couldn't be me.
Easy.
Easy peasy.
We're living.
100%.
Good. Good.
I like
Glad.
it. All right.
Yep.
Any last thoughts on Megan?
I don't think so. I'm excited for 2.0.
Me too.
Sad we have to wait so long.
Yeah. 2 years. Sheesh.
I'm glad that we have our thoughts on what the second one could be about recorded so that when one of the two theories that you came up with happens, we can go back and be like, wow, they really ripped off our idea, didn't they?
Well, I think I think we
Just
were
kidding.
just expanding on the ideas they gave us in the end.
Yeah, that's true. We read the context
Yeah,
clues.
we really, opened their book and then decided it was our own.
Yeah.
All right. Well, next week we're going to be talking
Yes.
about The Descent, a movie in which
Nice.
I would highly encourage you to watch at night. Uh,
Of course.
I think it'll be more fun
It's
that
not
way.
scary enough on its own.
You'll see. Um, but I did
Okay.
just this is kind of like a spoiler in terms of like how far ahead we record, but I just edited the episode for Hereditary in which you had said you had watched it at night and it definitely impacted you. So I feel like we should go back to that if you get that visceral nighttime reaction.
You want to know something funny about that? Is I didn't watch it at night. I watched it in the dark.
Just lock yourself in a closet or what?
Well, I mean, yes, it is nighttime right now, but this is how dark this room gets
Oh, okay, if you like shut the
during the
curtains and stuff.
daytime. Yeah.
Mm,
So
okay.
I think I've just been making excuses, honestly,
Yeah.
about watching things at night because I can make it dark and it'd be scary.
Yeah, I think that you need to just step it up.
Okay, fine.
Great. Is there anything that you know about the movie The Descent?
No,
Nothing.
nothing.
Have you
I
ever
haven't seen.
never seen a poster, nothing?
Nope.
Sexy. All right. Lay it on me. What is The
Okay.
Descent about?
It's about an old mining town. Am I right?
I'm not gonna tell you. Go.
Okay. It's about an old mining town,
Mhm.
and no, people move to a town that used to be a mining town,
Got it.
and they find a mining like elevator thing. You know how that descends into the earth? Mhm. And there are paranormal beings in the cave. Not the cave, but you know what I'm saying.
The mining
In the
shaft.
mines, the shaft.
Got it. Who's our
And
main character? What's their name?
oh, feel like it's got to be a woman named
Okay.
um she's like early 30s, late 20s, named I always think of names with a K. I would not. Sarah without an H. Sara.
I'm not kidding. The main character name is Sarah.
Nah,
With an
you're
H.
fucking kidding me.
With an H, but yes.
Damn it.
You nailed that. You
Oh my
you
God.
nailed that part of it. The main character name is Sarah.
I'm so fucking proud of myself.
That's insane. That's pretty good. I mean, it is kind of a
That's
generic name, but
well, yeah. When I think of a late 20s, early 30s woman, her name is definitely Sarah.
All right,
Oh my
Sarah. Are
god.
there any other main characters? Or is it just Sarah going into this mine shaft and seeing paranormal activities?
No, I mean she just moved there, so she probably just got married to some guy named Dave.
Okay, yes, of course. Dave.
I feel like I've said there was a Dave before, but this one I really mean it.
Mm, I mean, that's fair. There is no Dave in this movie, if you're wondering, but it's close enough.
Did she just get married and move to a mining town and the descent is the mine shaft?
No.
Damn it.
No, you really just nailed Sarah. That was it. But
Fuck. Is it paranormal?
um is that a spoiler? I think
Maybe.
so. I won't tell you. I'll let you
You think it's a spoiler
discover.
or you think it's paranormal?
No, I think it's a spoiler if I tell you whether or not it's paranormal.
Got it. We haven't had a
So,
creature feature in a while.
that is true.
That's a lie. We literally just watched Alien.
Wait, yeah. What are you talking about?
You agreed with me.
I know, because I kind of forgot about it. Also, I guess I consider Alien more of a sci-fi rather than creature feature.
Why can't it be both?
Oh,
It literally is
can.
both.
Yeah, okay, I can.
Okay.
So, I'm so sorry.
We also literally just watched The Others, which is paranormal, so it can't be paranormal.
Well, that one was a request, so that one got added in. So that shouldn't
That's
be
true.
taken into account in when I spaced out the things.
So it is paranormal.
Maybe.
Okay. Well,
I guess we'll find out next week.
okay.
Cool.
Looking forward to it.
Me too.
Okay. Well, bye.
All right, well, that wraps it up for today. If there are any movies you'd like to hear us talk about, please let us know in the comments or shoot us a DM on our socials.
Thanks so much for listening. Next week, we're going to be talking about the 2005 British horror film The Descent, and we hope to see you there. Bye.